beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
Venezuelans in Florida are starting to regret their vote for Donald Trump because TPS, called Temporary Protected Status, which allows immigrants to live here even if they're not citizens, may be revoked under Donald Trump.
And good people, I pay my taxes, I follow the rules.
Alvaro Duran is a TPS recipient. He's in the process of obtaining a green card because he's married to a U.S. citizen. However, his mother and siblings are now in limbo.
Go back to Venezuela is not an option.
Well, it's not an option, but it might be what happens. And it's just another example of Donald Trump voters not listening to what Donald Trump said he was going to do, or at least not believing him, because Donald Trump was very clear. He said that he wanted to have the largest deportation in America.
On day one, I will seal the border and will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. And if other countries say they won't take them back, we're not going to take them back, I will say that, yeah, here they come. You're just going to hold on to your britches, because here they come. They're coming back.
And of course, there was this moment at the RNC that was stunning and frankly appalling, where Republican Party goers held up these signs.
Arrest the criminal illegal immigrants and put them behind bars. Or send them back.
Mass deportation now. Mass deportation now. So yeah, Donald Trump meant that shit. And he is not a friend to immigrants. He's actually not a friend to many people, aside from the billionaires who support him. But I don't know what it is, but folks have been acting like this for a long time. By the way, what you're about to see here is a woman being used as a prop, a political prop for a fascist who intends on hurting her family, and anyone she knows that is here and does not have documentation.
Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. And is this a setup? Did I ever meet you before? Huh?
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. All the way to the White House.
Yeah, well, do you think she's still saying that now that Donald Trump has promised to get rid of birthright citizenship? By the way, he can't do that because the president can't sign an executive order and change the Constitution, though Donald Trump will try because he has a Congress and a Supreme Court in his pocket. So who knows what will happen on that. But birthright citizenship is potentially going to be diminished because of Donald Trump. And then you have folks like the Venezuelans in Florida who are starting to get it too.
Well, there's a lot of news coming out of the White House. One item is President Trump's decision to revoke temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans. A decision met with controversy and a passionate response from the local community. NBC6's Laura Rodriguez is live from Doral with reaction this evening. Laura.
Well, some Venezuelans say they feel betrayed by the Trump administration, and they want to make it clear the majority of Venezuelans are not criminals.
And good people, I pay my taxes, I follow the rules.
Alvaro Duran is a TPS recipient. He's in the process of obtaining a green card because he's married to a U.S. citizen. However, his mother and siblings are now in limbo.
Go back to Venezuela is not an option.
Not an option for hundreds of thousands of people who say they may face jail time or retaliation for speaking out against the Maduro regime that remains in power. In a TPS termination notice, DHS said in Venezuela there are notable improvements in several areas such as the economy, public health, and crime that allow for these nationals to be be safely returned to their home country.
Conditions have not changed, actually have getting worse.
At a press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed, beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
I didn't think the suspension of TPS was warranted at this time. Venezuela certainly is not a safer place today than it was when TPS was issued. And so I'm not in favor of everything that the Trump administration has done.
On Friday, Jimenez sent a letter to DHS Secretary Kristi Noem urging her to make sure law-abiding Venezuelans are not unjustly penalized.
We need to focus, and this administration needs to focus on putting out the fire, which is getting rid of the Maduro, the illegitimate Maduro regime.
And one group of Venezuelan TPS holders will see their protections expire this April. Another group will likely see those protections expire come September.
So yeah, it's really bad. And I feel terrible for folks who were tricked by a man who is just conning so many good people. I do feel bad for them. I know a lot of my audience says fuck around and find out, but I wish that this wasn't happening, because there's even this man here who voted for Trump and his wife has been deported by ICE. Here's some of that.
Cameras, excuse my language, and then they took my wife.
This man, who wished not to be identified, says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here.
What's so interesting about this to me is these deportations are targeting areas and people who go to work. They're targeting schools. They're targeting churches. They're not targeting the people they said they were going to go after, which is criminals, gang members, drug dealers, rapists. No, they're going after people who go to school, going to people who go to work and are doing nothing wrong other than the fact that they're undocumented here.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
If I get a chance to talk to you, man, yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
So, I mean, unfortunately for that man, Donald Trump doesn't care about anyone. He's not going to pardon anyone, help anyone other than the billionaires who help him, or perhaps Eric Adams in New York, because he wants to deport more folks. That's it.